Hey everybody, good morning and welcome to the adibiip Group Innovators Live Q&A, your daily live cast with Amir and Victoria, bringing you guys useful intellectual property content every single day of the week, trying to help you guys navigate the business world, bringing you guys content around patents, trademarks, copyrights, trade secrets, everything involving intellectual property. We want to try to provide you as much invaluable content as we possibly can. This is a Q&A show, so if you guys have specific ideas for shows, or if you have specific questions or topics that you want covered, please send them to victoria@adibiip.com, victoria@adibiip.com. Shoot her your questions, your feedback. We want all the useful feedback we can get so that we can create more relevant and more useful content to your everyday lives. We also have a community number. Feel free to text us at 415-943-5193, 415-943-5193. We'd love to have you on our text community. Shoot a text to that number. You'll get direct access to me. You can send me your questions directly, and you can also send me your show ideas, and we'll get them answered on the show. So before we get into today's episode, this is episode number 131. I want to do a quick recap on what we did on yesterday's episode and on episode 130.
So yesterday on episode 130, you answered the question, who successfully trademarked Bitcoin?
So we looked at Bitcoin marks. We saw there were over 60 registered, some related in financial services, all kinds of different classes that were covered. And it was interesting because we also saw a lot of variations of the word. And so the office has a lot of different marks having the word Bitcoin in it. So pretty interesting. Go back and watch that episode, especially if you're in that space and in that industry. Today, this is episode number 131. Victoria, what are we doing today?
Today, we're looking at Off-White's trademarks.
So we're going to go back to look at shoe brands. We're going to focus on their shoe-related marks. So we're not going to do every single word mark that they have. But what I want to do is I want to focus on how they use trademarks to creatively protect their products. So again, super famous shoe brand. Let's take a look at it. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. And actually, I'm going to zoom in too. So I'm already at the site, but what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to go to tsdr.uspto.gov. Now, if you guys are interested in researching really any company, this is the way you would do it. So hopefully you guys find this content useful and helpful. So you click on search trademarks. So after you tsdr.uspto, click search trademarks, and then you're going to want to click on basic word mark search. Now, once you're here, I'm going to just do a straight search by owner. So you type in, you select owner name and address, and then in here, you can just type the name of the business that you're interested in. So here, I'm just going to type in off-white, and I'm going to hit submit query. Now, for those of you guys who don't know, let me do a quick Off-White, just quick search here so you guys can see, for those of you who are not familiar, and we'll do search by images, and you can see this. So this will give you just a flavor of the kind of shoes that we're dealing with. So this is the famous label, the red tat label that's on the shoe. And then also another really famous distinctive aspect of their brand that they have worked hard to develop are the arrows, like this arrow right here, and also this arrow right here. If you guys can see right here. Yeah. So this cross arrows right here. So these are really famous parts of their brand and branding. So let's take a look at what sort of marks they have. So again, I'm going to focus only on the super visual ones. I'm going to focus on the ones that are 3D configurations. But again, so right here. So here is, for example, the cross, the arrows that cross. So two intersecting dual-sided arrows. And this is covering class 21. Interesting. So this is actually covering a lot of interesting things. Let's take a look, actually. Let's see what specimens they submitted under class 21. Oh, wait. I led us astray. So this is a 1B application. So they haven't yet actually submitted specimens, it looks like. But it is interesting to see where brands might be going, especially bakerware, butler's trays, cake pans. I mean, these are a wide variety of products and goods here. But it looks like they were interested, at least at some point, on some level, of expanding into that. This covers fabrics and textiles under class 24. So again, this is a perfect example of brand expansion. Remember, there's generally two types of trademark applications. There's intent to use applications and actual use applications. So often what happens is companies will file intent to use applications to secure the brand before they actually start selling their goods and services. So Victoria, thanks so much for throwing up that banner. That's awesome. Anything that we can do to help our viewers, we want to do as much as possible. So let's take a look at this mark here. This looks like, so this is clothing under 25. Let's see what they're trying to cover here. So this mark consists of a sinking person's hand in his face. Let's see yeah, let's see where this ends up. So this is a 1A. So kind of interesting. You can see actually how they actually use the mark. So this file is super recent. So less than a month ago. So here we go. So as you can see here, so this appears on the back of jeans. So there's a label right there. So this is literally a tag that appears behind on the back of jeans and it's very distinctive, right? I mean, it has these openings all around it. So let's check out what other interesting marks they have. Again, don't necessarily need to focus only on shoes. I mean, they have a lot of really creative. So this is class 18. Swiss cheese, yes. The forced invasion, pretty cool. On point comment. I think he's 100% right. It's supposed to look like Swiss cheese. Now, this also, no specimen filed yet for this one, but this is pretty interesting. Looks like a face. So let's get into some of the cool ones. So, I mean, these are all pretty cool, but I mean, this right here, one of the most iconic, probably one of the most powerful brand aspects is the color red, the zip tie that attaches to the actual shoe. So let's take a look at this. Let's take a deep dive into this. So this right here, I'm going to open this in a new tab just so that I can make it nice and big for you guys. But as you can see, so this is one of their iconic marks, the zip tie, the red zip tie label that's actually attached to the actual shoe. So let's see what specimens they submitted. Now remember, this is, let's see, so this right here is the specimens. This is submitted in 2018. There you have it right here. So it's attached to a bag in this case. I'm going to zoom out so you guys can see nice and clearly. Well, relatively. It's still kind of hard to see. So here's the actual red tie. And here it is on the actual shoe. Here's the zip tie on clothing. And here's the red tie on shoes. Showing celebrities wearing it. Let's see where the red tie. Here it is right here. So there's a zip tie on the shoe. So again, we might as well take a look at all. Oh, whoops. 1 second. I think okay, so you get the idea. Let's go back. Let's take a look at some other unique looking shoes. So here's another one. So this one has a curvy lined arrow that's extending along the heel all the way to the toe of the shoe. And again, this was relatively recent that this issued. Let's take a look at the specimens that were submitted. Zoom out. There you have it. So there's this curvy line extending from the heel to the toe. Here's another. Oh, whoops. Here's another. This is just a straight arrow. This was also registered just last year, but let's take a look at what specimen was submitted. So there's the arrow right there. So that you can see extending. Well, really you see it here. The zip tie kind of covers it, but you get the idea. You see the arrow in the back. So we're going to look at 3 more shoes. Pretty interesting. It's always fun to see how these hugely successful brands use trademarks to protect what they're selling. So this specimen was submitted in 2019. So this is a similar idea, except the arrow is slightly curved. And again, class 25. We're going to see a lot of class 25s for this particular brand. This also, this mark right here, this one's super famous. These crossed arrows on the shoes, probably one of their most well-known. There you have it right here. So here's the crossed arrows, intersecting arrows, I should say. So footwear under 25, and then we'll look at one more. So this one right here, same idea, but it's slightly curved. Wait, I think I already showed you guys this one. Oh no, I didn't. So this one, and again, there's a zip tie. So pretty neat. So that's off-white. We can take a look at just a couple more. So these are kind of interesting because we're literally looking at just alternating parallel diagonal lines. And again, this is under class 16. So let's take a look at this. Let's see what specimens were submitted. Oh, actually, this was extension of time. So the extensions of time are submitted in these. So these actually haven't, again, these were filed, it looks like under 1B. But this one actually, there was a 1A. So this is eyewear. Let's take a look at this before we wrap up the episode. Let's take a look at the specimen that was submitted. So this looks like the container for the eyewear. And again, this is covering class 9. Let's see if any of these other patterns. Yeah, this one's also registered. This is covering pillows, cushions, furniture under class 20. Let's take a look at this one as well. Submitted last July. There you have it. Now, what's interesting about this mark, though, let's see, there must be another one that actually shows the, there it is right here. So here, right here. So this is the label. So this is the parallel alternating black and white lines. So pretty interesting to see what is a seemingly really, really simple design and pattern actually being implemented. So this is covering retail store services. Let's take a look at this. Kind of a different shape, more rectangular. Let's take a look at the specimen. So this is retail store services now. So again, so this is on an actual bag. So I hope you guys found this episode helpful. We looked at Off-White today on episode number 131. As you guys can see, a lot of trademarks filed on protecting their shoes, on the designs of the actual shoe themselves, on the iconic zip tie, red zip tie that is connected to the shoes, attached to the shoes. And then we also saw some other creative uses of what are seemingly simple patterns, but then applied in the context of retail store services on packaging for eyewear. And a really, really good company. Check out, study them, see how they use trademarks to protect their shoes, their iconic shoe brand. So thank you so much for watching. This is episode number 131. If you guys have questions that you want answered or topics covered, send them to Victoria at adibiip.com. Also, we have a community number, 415-943-5193, 415-943-5193. Shoot a text to that number. I'd love to get your feedback. You get direct access to me. You can send me your questions, topic ideas. We will get your questions answered and covered on the show. We're trying to create as much useful and valuable content for you as we possibly can. So we always love your feedback. Thanks so much for watching. This is episode number 131, and looking forward to seeing you guys tomorrow for episode number 132. Thank you.